Okay, today we're learning more about forms of energy. The forms of energy is what we talked about yesterday. It's our on Monday. Energy is the ability to do work or cause the change in matter. Mechanical energy is the energy of motion. If it's moving or powered by movement, it's mechanical energy. Electrical energy is the energy caused by moving electrons. Electrons are particles inside atoms that have a negative charge. They can change to other forms of energy, such as a fan that uses electricity to spin blades and move air to make you cool. Anything that plugs into an outlet, uses a battery, or has solar panels uses electricity. Light energy. Light energy can travel through space and can pass through some kinds of matter like glass. It can travel in waves, and you can see it. Light bounces off objects and enters our eyes, which is what allows us to see those objects. Then there's thermal energy. Thermal energy is the energy of moving particles in matter. We feel it as heat, measured as temperature. Warmer temperatures mean more thermal energy. Cooler temperatures mean less thermal energy. Sound energy. Sound energy is carried by waves vibrating particular particles of matter. It can only travel through matter that are solid, liquid, or gas. Our ears perceive this vibration as sound. Now that we've reviewed the different kinds of energy, we're going to go over our chart from yesterday. Yesterday, you were given 6 objects, and it was your job to look at them and to decide what types of energy they used. If you haven't completed this yet, minimize this video, pause it, go back and complete this chart and turn it in on Monday before you watch this section of the lesson. The first object was a wind-up toy. A wind-up toy is powered by a crank, the person cranking the machine. And since that's movement, that's mechanical. When you let the wind-up toy go, it produces movement, so that's also mechanical. Next, we looked at a hot plate. The hot plate was plugged into the wall, so it uses electrical energy, but it creates thermal energy or heat that melted the ice cube or the water. An alarm clock uses batteries, so that is mechanical energy. It produces mechanical energy when the hammer goes back and forth. It also produces sound energy when it makes the noise. Next, we had a can opener. You crank it, so it's mechanical, and it uses cranks to remove the metal, so that's also mechanical. A music box is powered by mechanical, and it produces sound energy or sound. And lastly, a stopwatch is powered by batteries, so that is electrical energy, but it produces sound energy when it beeps and light energy to make the screen work. Next, we're going to take our observations from yesterday and we're going to learn how to write those in a CER response. CER stands for claim, evidence, reasoning, and rebuttal. When we create a claim, we look at our data and we make an inference or a conclusion from that data. From this data, I can see that some objects create and produce the same type of energy, but some objects create and produce different types of energy. So my claim is that not all objects use and produce the same form of energy. What evidence do I have from my chart that proves that they do not use the same form of energy? Well, this is electrical and this is thermal. Are those different types of energy? Yes, they are. So I can use the hot plate as my evidence. My evidence is the hot plate used electrical energy, but it produced thermal energy. Now for my reasoning, I need to show how does this evidence prove my claim. This evidence supports my claim because the hot plate did not produce electrical energy. This means that it can produce a different kind of energy than it uses. And last, we have a rebuttal, where we state an alternate claim and then prove it wrong. Although some people claim that objects use and produce the same kind of energy because a can opener uses and produces mechanical energy, the evidence shows that this is not true for all objects. Therefore, not all objects use and produce the same form of energy. Next, in your notebook for today's lesson, you're going to create this chart. You'll notice that in Schoology, there's a second PowerPoint, and this PowerPoint is called Uses of Energy PowerPoint. You're going to go through this PowerPoint, and for each object, such as the stove, you're going to record the answers in your notebook. The object is the stove. What form of energy is going into the stove? What form of energy is going out? And how do you know? You'll do that for each object in the PowerPoint. Then you're going to choose 2 objects and you're going to write your own CERR. Once you've written 2 CERRs, you're going to go into Schoology. You're going to click on Uses of Energy. You're going to click Write a Comment, Record Audio and Video, and you're going to read your 2 CERRs. And that's it for today's lesson.